Well, hello, and welcome, my Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Path of True Love reading for February 2020, though timeless, whenever you come across it. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and very honored to be doing these readings for you. It is a cloudy, rainy, windy day here on Long Island. In Holbrook, so I'm very glad to be indoors in my dining room. Cats are all snuggled up upstairs and doing what I love to do. So thank you. If you're new to my channel, please do like and subscribe. Making my way to 1,000 subscribers so that I can do super live chat and other cool stuff, particularly Drunk Tarot, which is a little creation of my own. There's a link in the description box explaining that. I'll do that about once a month or so. Go watch the vid. You'll see why, and you'll probably want to like and subscribe because I'm fun. I am. I'm good. I'm seasoned. I'm 51 years old. I've been reading cards since I'm 12 years old. And I'm the fun one. Yeah. So let's get down to biz, shall we? Couple of things. General read, not for everybody, right? Not going to resonate all of it for every single person. Please do check your other signs. That is why I do Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for, well, Venus for all the relationship-based spreads. Otherwise, if I'm doing a zodiacal collective, you can be guaranteed it'll be Sun, Moon, Rising. Even like mantra card draws or something, I'll always do it for the 12 signs, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So this way you get like 3 of them if you got the placement that way. This is a Path of True Love reading. Path of True Love is your spiritual path, our spiritual path, seen through the lens of our relationships, right? The relationships are the ways we get our soul lessons learned. Yes, your relationship with your body as well, your relationship with money, relationships of all different kinds. But Path of True Love, we're pretty much looking at our interrelational with other souls kind of deal. Twin flames and soulmates and all of those soul contracts and agreements happen on the Path of True Love, right? All pre-incarnational, all agreed to beforehand for the most part, from what I understand. We'll remember more when we croak. I'm talking to my lawyer when I croak. I want to talk to my contract lawyer. I mean, I know I could talk to him now, but it's sort of a joke, but sort of not. So remember, this is your path, even if other people are indicated, particularly in the spread we're going to be using, the Celtic Cross spread. An oldie but a goodie, but a personal favorite. I also did a video on how I read the Celtic Cross spread, also in the description box below, because everybody reads it a little differently. Once the first 2 cards hit the table, which everybody usually does them the same way, however it goes, I've seen them go counterclockwise. You'll see. So how I lay it out, how I name each spot, etc. It's what I do with my one-on-one clients all the time, and if you would like to book me for a personal reading, easy enough to do. I can do Facebook Messenger, Skype, over the phone. I just don't record them and send them to people. That's not my style. I've been working one-on-one with people. I've been reading cards before the internet. This is true, I have. I started very, very young. So that's my skill set, and I'm really good at it, and I like interconnecting with people. Yeah, I'm a Virgo with Pisces Moon, Leo Rising, go figure, right? So that's about it, except to please breathe. I'll explain what's going on as we go. But if we can both be conscious of our breath as we do this, we'll be more in the present moment, more relaxed, more in the flow, and able to find the still point that divinity resides within in every present moment. But you got to find it in that stillness and that silence, like ringing a silent bell. Inhale. There it is. It's the gap between the inhale and the exhale and the inhale. It's the easiest way for me to find it. You can find it however you like. But then we're both tuning to the same divine in the present moment. So I'm translating it through divination system, words, clairvoyance. I'm a clairvoyant empath, but clairaudient as hell, apparently. As fuck, I almost said. Fuck hell, whatever. Because they like to curse with me. Don't know why, they just do. It's my sense of humor. So present moment, and keep it grounded, right? You're an air sign. I have to remember, really, even blessing the deck before I hit the camera, I needed to really like ground. So let's get to work. Take a nice deep breath, my air signs, my beautiful Aquarians. Still point. My goddesses and gods, my deities, please, we're going to start with the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, our first 10 cards down. Please, top 10 cards, Celtic Cross for this Aquarian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, on the path of true love for February 2020 or timeless, whenever they're supposed to see this. Please, where are they on the path of true love? How are they doing on the path of true love? What's going on the path of true love? Celtic Cross spread. Top 10 cards, please, for this Aquarian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, February 2020, on the path of true love. Here we go. Maiden, Mother, Crone. That was nice. That was a very, very clear. It's clairaudient when they say, stop cutting 3. I'm like, got it. That's why I'm good. I just do what I'm told, and they let me drink coffee. Blessed be. Okay, so we've got our first 10 cards at the top of this. I'm going to lay it out in the Celtic Cross. Then we will clarify the voices of the angels. I always go cross pantheon with my reads. The angels will, same thing, top 10 cards to clarify. Then we will get the voices of the higher self through the Whispers of Love Oracle, just one of those. And then one from the Healing Mantra deck by Kahn for the voices of the Ascended Masters. So those are the gods, goddesses, angels, higher selves, and masters that I work with all the time, but just one of these cards too. So it's 22 cards in total. Takes about an hour with the preamble, a little more. Let's dive in. The card that covers you, my Aquarians. First card down. This card's been popping up. Don't take it personally. It's the Coyote Woman. It is Major Arcana, and it is one of 2, count them, 2 parts of the card of the Devil in the Major Arcana. So looking here at the Trickster, right? Now, I have to say this every time. Look, I've got a very, very deep background in mythology. Like, my mystical path is through the Hellenic Greeks. I love them. I was raised with them in some ways culturally. But of course, you're going to study other pantheons. If you study one type of mythology, you will find yourself eventually finding symbolic correlatives throughout history and throughout the globe. So every pantheon has a trickster archetype. It's a divine archetype. Hermes in case of the Greeks. Loki in the Norse. Everybody knows Loki is the trickster god. But Coyote is like a massive Native American trickster god. Coyote in particular, if you live in the United States, the trickster archetype is alive and well if you've been watching the news. Just saying. But it's to teach us something. The trickster is always about teaching us something, and it's always the same lesson regardless of the form. Empowerment or disempowerment. It's essentially the saboteur archetype on a divine scale, but the love behind it is teaching you how to make decisions, not just choices, life-changing decisions of empowerment or disempowerment. Will you empower yourself or disempower? Empower somebody else. Will you empower them or disempower them? Nobody really wants to see anybody else succeed before them. That's the ego. That's the ego. Right? The separate self doesn't really want to see anybody else. I mean, maybe your child you do, but even then, there's like complex family stuff there. This is really making the decision. It's like, no, I want you to do better than me because I love you, to come from love rather than fear. Decisions of empowerment, right? So on the path of true love, that is major. It's one of the 4 survival archetypes. Go read Sacred Contracts by Carolyn Mace. Everybody's got the child, the victim, the saboteur, and the prostitute. It's how we learn how to survive. Those words may not sound very positive, but they are all neutral. They all have their lead and gold, their shadow and light. And so to kick off a reading, I mean, a lot of these spreads, the Path of True Love reads this time around have kicked off with a major arcana. But this is really out the gate saying you need to look at your decisions of empowerment for yourself or others. Sure. Well, no. Okay. I was going to say it might mean that someone is trying to sabotage you, but it wouldn't represent this as you in the first card down, right? So this is your lesson on your path of true love. So maybe it is. Maybe it is learning about, are you being tricked? Right? Can you make that decision? Can you suss that out for yourself? Well, let's see the situation that you're in. That's you. This is the environment. And we've got the Ace of Cups, a very interesting card to have here, and here's why. It is a new beginning. It is a new offering of love in one way, shape, or form, right? Could be familial, could be a new friend, could be a new lover, could be a reconnection from somebody that you haven't seen in a long time. All of those things. But I know for myself, when I'm really, really happy and there's a potential of happiness, because it's just a seed, it's an ace, like, don't freak out. It's like, okay, I gotta tend this, I gotta grow this to the 10 of Cups. But we can be very easily tricked when we're excited about the potential of something. Empowerment or disempowerment, this might be the moment where we sell ourselves downstream or make the decision to say no when the soul is saying yes, or leap when the intuition and the gut is saying, wait, chill, feel this out. And we'll see that in the next position. So very, very interesting. So that makes sense to me, right? Like something new pops up, you're like, I think I'm in love. Ooh, I just Eddie Moneyed you, and I can't get enough, right? I think, what is this? I mean, even if it is just a friendship thing, be careful. Be careful to whether you empower it or disempower it. Is it a trick? Will you trick yourself? It's only 2 cards down. 2 cards out of 22. We've got 20 more to go. We'll figure it out. Almost clarified too early. I know, I wanted to. Let's go third position. What's going on at the core, the soul, the intuition, the subconscious, all that below the water stuff. Deception, 4 of Blades. There's a trick going on. Are you tricking yourself? There's something you're not looking at. Now, I know, I don't like this card either. People would say, but no, isn't that the 2 of Swords? She's balancing 2 swords, 1 on each shoulder. Underneath her are 2 crossed swords that she is either unaware about or knows is there, but is pretending it's not. The thing about the card of deception, particularly with the coyote, because the coyote, I mean, if you think Wile E. Coyote, right? Bugs Bunny Roadrunner hour, right? All sorts of disguises and deceptions and machinations, and it just always bites him in the ass. So if this is you going after some Roadrunner, now, I always felt bad for the Roadrunner. I mean, a dude's got to eat, right? It wasn't like he was going to, I don't know, steal its social security card number. No, it had to live. Be careful though, if because this could go either way. You are either the one deceiving somebody, right, like keeping something in the shadow, or you are being deceived and your gut knows it, but you don't want to. See, that's the thing. On a certain level, and I hate that this is true, believe me, there's all sorts of things that are true that I hate are true, and we're allowed to hate that they're true, is that we really can't be lied to on an intuitive level, but we don't want to know. We sabotage it. We disbelieve it. We get that feeling. Now, unless somebody is really like a con man, scammer, like, to fly under someone's intuition, it's happened to me, but really, upon retrospect, there were always red flags. I usually just didn't want to see them. That's from my personal experience, and I've been walking the path of true love. Well, we all have been. Chances are, if you're watching this, you've been walking the path of true love for lifetimes. But then you know what I mean, right? So just be careful. Ace of Cups can be very, very heady, but it's just an ace. Be aware of those that promise everything right away, and they usually deliver nothing. Where have you been? What's in your behind? What's behind you, my aqualungs, my Aquarians? A court card, Sagittarian card. Did you get burned? Not just because it's Sagittarian, it's because it's a fire sign card. The way I read, I actually have a clarifying video how I read court cards. It's in the playlist called Clarifying with Mal, I think. Here we've got mutable fire, right? Jupiterian, Sagittarian 9th house energy, right? Very playful, very expansive, very spiritual. Like, I find the 9th house itself to be one of expansion and spirituality in that sense, because it's the expansion of consciousness, become aware of, the higher selves and chakras and energy and all that kind of metaphysics. It's very, very metaphysical sign. That's why if you find a Sagittarian who's really into metaphysics, they may not stick with anything forever and ever and ever, which is dogmatic a little bit or a lot of it, but you'll have an interesting journey and conversation. So they're also usually incredibly gregarious. So with this in your fourth position here, it really is saying that you may be coming from a fun place, right? Or if that does represent a person in your past that may be involved in this directly, this person might not be out of the picture, might have met them. There's some deception going on here. I'm really, before I go too deep into whether that's an actual person or not, I want to get more cards on the table, particularly the sixth position will help with that, because it's Kiridwin, you see. It is a card of transformation. It is the hunter, right? So remember that the hunter stalks its prey and waits. So that's why this could be you. If you are the predator in this case, I don't like using that word, but predator and prey. I mean, literally, I'm looking at Sagittarius with a coyote. So it's a little that. It's a little that. Not to say that you're a predator or the other person is, but where deception is involved. I mean, a hunter hides, right? A hunter's not like, hi, woohoo, over here with the gun. No, they hide. They camouflage themselves. There's a deliberate deception going on there, and that's necessary. Tricky fucking spread so far. The first four positions tell me what is and what was. Let's see what's coming into be. The fifth position, the crown, what's coming down. Like it's still a cell phone signal. It hasn't hit your cell phone yet, right? But it's coming. It's coming. What's coming into being? Immediate future. Ooh. Ten of Blades. I'll tell you this, pieces of the puzzle are going to hit the table fast, right? This is communication. This is shit coming out into the air. I love the Ten of Blades. That's why I love this deck. I didn't like the Ten of Blades right away. Who would? That's a nasty fucking card. I love it because it says this is done, but it's resolved. That's what that card says to me. And so does this one. This is the rattle, the Native American ceremony, Ten of Blades, passing the talking stick, right? So that everybody gets heard. All the pieces of the puzzle hit the table. So this, whether it's people talking or maybe people start bringing out pieces of information, revealing this deception. And my darling, if you're the one being revealed, if you're the one being deceived, shit's going to be revealed, but it may come piecemeal. It's minor arcana. It's definitely a thing that's going down, but it's like starting to go down like immediately. This does feel very immediate future, particularly because you're getting a reading that's pointing out a deception. So if you are not the deceiver, which I hope you wouldn't be, I mean, it's true love. Well, there you have it. It's the path of true love. But who hasn't deceived on the path of true love? We've deceived ourselves, we've deceived others, but on and on and on in every possible way. Lifetime after lifetime. But keep in mind, 500 years ago, we didn't necessarily have therapeutic psychological standards. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what is codependency now was survival 1,000 years ago. So, give your DNA and your ancestry a little break. Dr. Phil didn't exist at the time. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you a little Joe Pesci too there. Snap out of it. It's going to be fine. So the pieces of the puzzle will hit the table. Hang in there, hang in there. Let's see what's coming for you. What's before you on the path now? Now, this is why I really wanted to wait to see if this is you or somebody else. And this card has come up quite a bit today. And I do shuffle the cards when the camera's not on. Like I do. I bless them and shuffle them and pray on them. And I'm going to actually record that so people could see what I do. So that what I actually do. There's a lot of work involved before I hit record, just getting the cards ready. But I think that this is a theme perhaps for February, right? That this thing of reversal, the hangman, willingly sacrificing. Yes, sometimes we are forced into a hangman position, but usually we misinterpret it as being punished by God or the universe or something. No. It's the sacrifice usually of a point of view, of an idea, of a certain lens we're looking at things through. We have to kind of release that. Going back to Odin on the world tree Yggdrasil, right? Had to pluck out an eye and hang himself upside down to get a lot in exchange, by the way, including the runes, amongst other things. So, that it's an exchange. The universe plays along with you, but what's coming for you is a needing to see things differently. And this, of course, would indicate, to me at least, what I'm looking here is you're going to have to see, oh my God, I've been deceived. Like, you might be like, no, I don't want to, I don't want to believe that. I don't want to, no. But yet deep inside, there's a deeper knowledge at the core of some kind of deception going on. I don't get that it's you. I do. See, they told me to wait for this card. Because if it's you doing the deceiving, you wouldn't have to go through a hangman. You'd be well aware of what you were doing. If you are, however, deceiving yourself, and that's probably more what this is the acceptance of, you know, I didn't want it to be, but I have to look at this differently. I have done this so many times in my life. I can really, really not just empathize, which is the energetic part of it, but sympathize. If you are energetically sensitive, if you are highly intuitive, if you are empathic, divine feminine, first wave, any of that kind of category stuff, we can feel somebody's soul and their potential regardless of what's going on in their personality, and we could have a relationship with their potential, not with who they are in the moment. So when the red flags come, that's the soul lesson. We are all one. We are true love. Our initial true deep impulse is, I love you. We are one. Let us join as friends, as lovers, as family, what have you, right? But then there's the personality and its journey it has to take, and the fear and the wounds, the ego wounds of abuse, neglect, codependence, and loss, right? The addictions that repress those, right? There's so much shit that goes on. We will all get there eventually. But you gotta walk your path. So considering the two major arcana cards in your microcosm, the first 6 positions, are half of the devil card, the trickster, really a worthwhile lesson, and surrendering it. Let go, let God, I let go and let God, I let go and let Goddess receive this whole situation that I created, all of my thoughts and choices and feelings. I release it to the power of the greater will of love. I trust that everything will be fully balanced in its own time and place, and I accept that there has always been a divine plan, a greater good, manifesting throughout this in the now somehow, so mote it be, amen, hallelujah, pass the ammunition. Do you know what I mean? Like, really, you gotta let it go. Now, I'm just saying you gotta let it go, but you have to go through the process and really see it differently. That's who I'm getting is in the majority of the collective here for this Aquarian read, where if you're the one actually doing the deceiving, shit's gonna come out fast, and you're gonna have to, hanged man there, it's never about punishment, but it's gonna flip your shit around. Just saying. Intense microcosm, let's go macro. The 7th position here is the lesson, what the universe is trying to teach you. The death card, transformation from the bones out, hence the skeleton. There's not a skeleton in this deck, it's a phoenix, so going to ashes and rising from it. You can release something to air, it can blow back. You can release something to water. It could wash right back up. You can dry it off. You can even release something by earth. You can bury it. Someone could dig that shit up. You can't unburn something when you release it by fire. It is literally transformed, changing form. The action of changing form. Transform action. Transformation. I'm verbal. So, you know, with that in the lesson position here, darling, from the bones out, you are going through a transformation. Now, don't beat yourself up. You're probably going to. Who wouldn't? I'm a thinker myself. I'm, like I said, Virgo. I got that Mercury thing going on in my as my ruling planet. We all deceive ourselves. It couldn't have happened any other way. The soul needed to experience this, probably is about to experience this through the lens of the personality so that it can rise from ashes. The soul can't be destroyed, but aspects of the personality sure can. They can be transformed. Nothing can be created or destroyed, only changed, right? Intense. From the outside looking in, 8th position, how do you appear through all of this? Keeping in mind that couple of different ways to take this. One can be as, oh, that's how I am, like, and because we don't always see her. We can't. It's really hard to see yourself from the outside in. But it can also mean how the world sees you in terms of their projection, that just because someone sees you a certain way doesn't mean that's how you are, right? But it's helpful. It's like, oh, that's why you're acting that way, right? Oh, earthquake. Fuck. You got them all today, it feels like. Let's see if the tower shows up too. This is the tower of the minor arcana, the earthquake, the Five of Pentacles. It's a shake-up, very, very fast, but very, very thorough. So you're looking shook. You're looking shook from the outside looking in. This is intense, particularly with that hangman there, particularly, let me just check. 1, 2, 3 major arcana cards. 3 out of 8's not huge. And they're saying absolutely it's a 5, it's a quick thing, but just like an earthquake can last 10 seconds, it can change everything very, very quickly. This transformation is making its way down into physical form, so this isn't just a spiritual, psychological transformation. This is all the way into the root chakra, all the way into the physical world somehow. Hang on, buckle your seatbelts. This next position then will be very, very helpful, one would think. The 9th position is your destiny. Now, fate is what you can't change. Destiny is what you can alchemize, the lead of fate into the gold of destiny. If you take the journey, learn your lesson, heal, grow, become the best that you can be, and fulfill your role in the divine plan. That's the hero's journey. So where are you on the hero's journey? On the path of true love, considering all of this. 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups, considering you're starting with the ace here, that this situation, like we started off saying, be careful, right? I felt that. Be careful with that. You are learning a lesson of the trickster, because things are so amazing and beautiful and potential. Here is the fulfillment of that potential. That's where you are, but not necessarily in this relationship. It's almost like saying, like, you are getting so prepared for Inanna's house of heaven, 10 of Cups, all 10 cups overflowing. Now, again, romantic, sexual aside, I'm not going to say this is the true love card. I'm not going to say that, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to call one card the true love card. In a deck we have the Whispers of Love. There is a card that says true love on it, right? A couple of my decks have that. But this is this emotional fulfillment. Will it last forever? No. But with this card of deception, I just really, really don't feel like whatever is going on in the 6 cards here in the Celtic Cross itself is anywhere near what you're being prepared for. Get through this. Rise from the ashes. This is what's waiting for you on the other side. This may suck ass, unless you like that sort of thing. But do you know what I'm saying? I gotta keep it a little light. This is a reading, right? Let's be clear. No need to get too overly triggered. But I'm really glad this is in your destiny position, meaning that this is what you're headed towards. This is what's on the other side of this. Is there emotional transformation that's going to happen? Absolutely. But to go from a Ace of Cups to a 10 of Cups that quickly in a spread numerically, I mean, it's the 2 and the 9, but still. Interesting progression. Last card down. Remember, we got angel cards to clarify this. It can all shift. What's your outcome? Keeping in mind that the 6th position, in this case, the Hanged Man, and the 10th position are mutable, changeable, unless it's fated and written. You never know. Major Arcana card, my darling. The Hermit. Time alone. Chosen. Time alone. It's not exile, it's Hermit. It's the Virgo card. It's crossing your legs. Path of true love is leading you to deeper introspection so that you can ride the gray horse, so to speak, as the Kaliach above the stone circle. See things from a transcendent place. Now, the thing about the death card is it usually isolates us. That's your lesson. That's the lesson position. That's the crucible. That's the transformation. That's the alchemy, right? Considering that you got half of the devil card here, some of your fears are going to come up. Probably some of those fears are about being deceived, and you've been holding them down. But this Sagittarian card in the past, a lot of fun, very gregarious, probably very hot and steamy if this is that kind of thing. But again, this could play itself out as friendship, as a friend who's pulling a sneaky somehow, somewhere, maybe a false friend, wolf in sheep's clothing kind of dealio. But I'm telling you, shit's going to be revealed very, very quickly. You're going to see things very, very differently. It feels like voluntarily or not. And then it looks like through your outcome, you're going to be taking some time to yourself, which is always a good thing, particularly if you're angry. I've learned when I start getting too angry and frustrated, pull back, right? Go ahead, feel it. And not that other people shouldn't see how we are authentically necessarily, but I'm a quarter Sicilian. The rest is all like German, Irish, Scottish, you know, calm people. So I've learned I'm gonna feel. I'm not gonna repress my stuff, but I'm certain you can know I'm going through something. You don't get to witness it. That's how I roll. Right. So take that time, that virgin time. It is the Virgo card, so many say. So that card of the Hermit. Take the ride. You're going to need to. I get the feeling. Let's ask the angels. Here we go. Nice deep breath. Oh, yeah, nice refreshing couple of cyclic deep breaths. Still point. Oh, my angels, please, please, please. I see it, you see it. Please, top 10 cards. Top 10 cards, Celtic Cross, for this Aquarian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love for February 2020. Please, my angels. Where are they on the path of true love? What's going on the path of true love? Please clarify. If we can get who's doing what to who, that would be nice. If we can get really, since it's a healing with the angels oracle, what we can do to lessen any negative effects if possible, unless all that's scripted. Please, my angels, top 10 cards. Aquarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Where are they on the path of true love, February 2020? Clean cut, maiden. Mother, crown, maiden, mother, crown. Here we go. Coyote, balance. So you're the coyote finding balance. Finding balance. I mean, too much there for one card to go into detail. Keep your balance. Stay balanced. Like if it feels like this person's already in the picture. By the way, the only court card in the spread. So for you being represented as dealing with or being the coyote, keep your balance. The trickster. We're looking at a tricky, sticky, slippery situation. And what do we mean by balance there? Well, I can think, yeah, physical balance makes sense. Don't try and trip over your own feet. But mental, emotional balance, you're an Aquarius. The mind in particular, what you focus upon, fixed air, is going to affect not just your emotions, but your behaviors, your reactions, and your responses. Please, with this Ace of Cups, my angels, enchantment. Things are not as they appear to be. I told you it's my least favorite word in the spiritual metaphysical dictionary. Enchantment. I'm an earth sign. I want to know the tea. I want to know the truth. Show me what is. See what's there. Very Terry Pratchett. Go read Lords and Ladies by Terry Pratchett. Everything I really needed to learn about witchcraft, I did learn from Terry Pratchett. Oh, it's a unicorn. It's so beautiful and so mystical and so pure. 5,000 pounds of raw muscle with a deadly weapon on its head can only be tamed by a virgin. Where the fuck you gonna find one nowadays, right? It's like, yikes. See what's there. See what's there, right? So this Ace of Cups, this offer of love, whatever it is not as it appears to be. Why? And deep down, something's telling you there's something going on. With listening. Just listen to your gut. Listen to your gut. This is spilling it out for you. The tea has been spilled across the cards. Speaking of which, not tea, coffee. Helpful. Listen, you're being deceived. Listen, there's a deception. Listen, your soul. You know, the soul doesn't always manifest its guidance through angels appearing at the foot of your bed, right? Songs on the radio, synchronicities, all that's fine. But when something here goes, and I would say in particular not solar plexus, second chakra, under the navel, the physical navel, about 2 inches deep inside, if something goes, right, like you just, like it wants to leave the room at the back of your spine, something's off. Oh, if we could just teach children that. If we learn that as children, if something feels off, there probably is. If something feels off, come find mommy or daddy, right? Come tell me something feels off. I don't know what it is. The parent might not know what it is, but you take note of it, right? How many kids would be spared so much crazy shit instead of like, do what adults tell you, right? Serious. Listen to your gut. Something's off. Something's off. You know I don't like that word enchantment, if you've been following me. Let's look at this Saggy. Now, I gotta tell you, before I turn this next card, there are no he's an asshole cards in this deck, in the Angels. That's not, you know, Doreen Virtue. I don't know what she's like now from what I hear, but, you know, there's no asshole card, right? In the Healing with the Angels Oracle, How to Heal an Asshole. Oh, there's a book title. The next in the series by Mark A. Lyons, How to Heal an Asshole. Let's look at this Sagittarian. Friend or foe? Let's see. Lots of ideas and inspiration. That could go in a whole bunch of different ways, huh? For a Sag? Look, whether... I'm not saying this person, again, let me clarify the way I read court cards. Doesn't necessarily mean it is a Sagittarian, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Pluto, who the fuck cares? This is a Sagittarian energy. Very expansive. Lots of ideas and inspiration. Like a con man could be, right? Probably charming as fuck, like a con man can be. And by the way, I say con man, I suppose that's sexist. Con person. Oh my God, have we reached that level? Oh, it was con people instead of con men. Oh my goodness. I'm showing my age. But with lots of ideas and inspiration, just be very careful. Now, here's the thing, you are Aquarians. And Aquarians do love big picture. That is Aquarius. It is the stratosphere, fixed air, right? It's seeing things, the egalitarian, the humanitarian, the how the world, like the internet, totally an Aquarian thing, right? Like uniting people, can really want to see the best in people and believe. But if your gut is saying, no, honey, there's a virus in their program, and everybody gets them every now and again, doesn't mean they're horrible people, but there's something going on here. A trick is being played. And I'll be honest with you, if it was like, oh, it's a surprise party. No, not with then reversal and the wise one. But shit's coming out soon, and as a matter of fact, let's just go there. Let's clarify that. My angels, the rattle, 10 of blades. Resolution. Self-acceptance. You're going to be like, I fucking knew it. This is going to teach you to accept what goes on in your gut. It is in the crowning position. It is. Self-acceptance with this, you're going to get, and you're going to go, oh my God, I did know. I accept that I deceived myself. I accept that I am, have been, was, are. This is probably an ongoing pattern. Here's an opportunity to break it. Now, by the way, it's okay for you to not like this person. It's okay for you to take space from this person. It's okay for you to never speak to this person again, should that be your choice or decision. However, with this card reversal, you've got to look at it differently. Nobody lies or deceives because they love themselves. And we are all in that process. Everybody's doing the best that they can, considering their upbringing, their past lives, their belief system, whether they believe in the divine or not, how much wounds they carry within them, what's their emotional baggage. We have no idea what our own are, let alone anybody else's. So followed by that major arcana card in the 6th position, I have to. That you can see that this is an answered prayer for you. That's like, oh my God, I have to look at this differently. This person didn't do this to me. They did this for me. They think they did it to me. But that's why I think this self-acceptance is going to show you something about yourself. Because self-esteem and intuition are linked. Carolyn Mace, don't jump down my throat. Self-esteem and intuition are linked, because if you know and if you're listening to what's... I'm not saying you did something wrong. I'm saying this is how this lesson had to play itself out. It couldn't have played itself out any differently for you to really get that this is an answer to your prayer. Because I feel like what you want then is something true. If you're watching a Path of True Love reading, I would suspect you would, that you want something that is free of deception so that you can be what? Vulnerable. Why do you want to be vulnerable? So that your heart can open and you can feel all the good stuff, right? All of that love. But there's an invaluable piece of the puzzle with self-acceptance here. As the puzzle pieces hit the table, some resolutions are going to come. You're going to see some stuff. You're going to see your part in it. You have to see your part in this. Because then it's, at that point, then it's just about mitigating the scale of the deception. If it was like something great, big, huge, and money's involved, and credit cards and fraud and all of that, that's been there, done that. Or if it's just, well, I didn't want to upset you by telling you the truth, but either way, you knew, and that's the thing, when intuition hits, we don't usually know the scale. What fear is on a core level, I would say in this case, like, because why wouldn't we want to know? Because we're afraid to look. It means that change is coming and there's a probability of loss somehow, like that kind of intuitive fear. So push it down, push it down, push it down. Accept it, let it breathe, let it talk, hear it out, because really, it's not an emotion. That kind of intuition, the fear is about the intuition, right? So get that there's a difference between the emotion of fear around the intuitive gut hit that you're getting that is really your soul speaking in your biology. That's a good way of saying that. I love working with angels. They make my job so much easier. This is an answered prayer somehow. Don't try and accept it now. Take the journey. Fascinating. Let's look at your macro here. Going through the death card in your lesson here, the angels say new love. That there is a new love pouring into you, a new love of self, a new true love. You have the opportunity to learn a lesson here about transforming through a new kind of love or loving yourself in a new way. You want to really get there eventually? Bless them. May they be blessed with the love that they need to heal because they don't have to deceive. They could have been honest with me. Everyone is afraid that if you see them for who they truly are, you will recoil in horror. But if you get to know them and they really reveal who they truly are, you will come to love them. That's a horrible paraphrase of Course in Miracles, or Marianne Williamson, or both, I can't remember. Oh, look, I'm 51. I'm Generation X, I lived through the 80s. Then I have brain cells left, right? Amazing that this is a transformative, that this is totally about rising from the ashes for new love. You are being prepared. You are being prepared. And remember, we got that Ten of Cups coming in your destiny position too, but let's get there. From the outside looking in, earthquake, right? Five of Pentacles. Shook, who wouldn't be? And again, that's what makes me think this might be a little bit more than, well, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to hurt your feelings. I just hope it's not like that new RuPaul Netflix thing. Took all of his money, right? What's that called? Okay, I suck at names. It's just my thing. It's my thing. I suck at names. It's what I'm famous for. Five of Pentacles, fast but shaky, and I do feel like that this rattle, the info's already coming. What crosses? Divine guidance. From the outside looking in, it's like like you are going to be guided into this change. So really, it is even this too. That this may not even just be about the revelations of shit, like the deception being revealed and you getting shook. This is about you are being guided through something. You may not be able to see it for yourself, but from the outside looking in, you are going through divinely guided change. Perhaps this is a pattern. Perhaps people have seen you do this before. Trust, not trust where you shouldn't have trusted, but not trusting what you should have trusted. Does that make sense? Like, it's not about not trusting other people. It's trusting this. Because once you trust this, it's not a question of trusting that. It's like, no, you're just, something's off here. Don't know what it is. Don't need to investigate. Something feels off here. I'll be back, maybe. Right? That's all. Right? It is an easier, faster way, and often more diplomatic. Just, I don't know, I just have a weird feeling. Let's give it time. Let's watch what happens. But with some enchanted evening in your second position here, some enchanted Ace of Cups. Too easy. Too easy to just, what? Who's deceiving who? Who's zooming who? Your destiny position, 10 o' cups. Love this card. That's saying that's your destiny. Keep going. You are headed towards there. This is a necessary part of the movie. Otherwise, must love stories be boy meets boy, girl meets girl, boy meets girl. They get married happily ever after. It doesn't work that way. That's not a good story. That's bad storytelling. That's a flat line. That's porn. Sorry. Your destiny, your naked people, 10 of cups, Inanna's house of heaven, hot tub card, signs. Okay, so this is a sign. This is if you can take this as a sign, it's like, oh my God, I've been lied to again. This may not be the last time, but I will work this like a phoenix from hell. I will rise from these ashes and love myself in a new way. You are being alchemized from lead to gold so that you can experience new love. It's just an important step in it. Particularly, you want that Ace of Pentacles, but it's really the signs are pointing. The synchronicities, the songs, all of that stuff, pointing you towards your destiny. Hang in there. Really, really, really good. I hope you will. But I also know what it's like to be in the hermit. Now, I embrace that. I've embraced my hermit nature. I'm a Virgo. I love being a hermit. I love living alone with my cats, obviously. I used to have parties of hundreds of people at my house when I used to live, so it's fine. It's all in balance. But, you know, having that as your outcome, it's not the end. It's about introspection. It's about getting that larger point of view, even going deeper into the self, into the soul, and into the divine, particularly when it's for healing, right? So the healing hermit. There you go. That's your outcome on this. Yeah, some time to yourself. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily isolate. Reach out, get what you need, but that also says to me that your lesson here, oh look, Major Arcana cards, both of them, that your lesson is about rising from the ashes with a new love, and that comes through the healing of the self, which means the loving of the self in the lesson. Now, how do you love yourself? Start with, oh my God, I'm so sorry I didn't listen to you, sweetheart. I love you. Please forgive me. Ho'oponopono, Matt Kahn, find something. But isn't that the best part? If it wasn't for disappointment, doubt, heartbreak, we would never investigate the spiritual path on the path of true love, right? The spiritual healing, all of that stuff. Why? Because we're getting what we want. It's when we don't get what we want that the stuff we have to deal with rises. Yeah. It's just how it is. All right, let's get your last two down. And then we'll do an overview. You know, I like to pop it all together. They usually show me other stuff that's there once I have everything on the table. So nice deep breath from your higher self, the Whispers of Love Oracle. Oh, hold on a second. Still point. The higher selves of all involved, please. One card in clarity, a whisper of love for this Aquarian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for February 2020, please. The higher selves of all involved. Yes, the higher self of the Aquarian as well as the higher self of whoever this Sagittarian card is representing. On the path of true love, February 2020, what is the whisper of love from the higher self collective, all involved? Do something for someone else. Give your attention to someone else. There is so much on this card, clairaudiently, whispering. First of all, you're not the only person to go through this with this person. You may or may not know who that is. Do something for that person. If you're going to communicate with them, let it be a healing conversation. Just be careful this does not fall into obsession. You are a fixed air sign. You can become fixated. In fact, pray for them. I know. I just heard the fuck you from across the world. This is an answered prayer for you somehow. It's going to take a radical shift of perception, a sacrifice of your point of view. This is an answer to your prayer sometime. Because, by the way, maybe it's that you found out early, right? It's an ace. Maybe you found out early on so that you are not suffering the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune for much longer. Or maybe not at all. Maybe you got out just in time, but you know, maybe it's just like a sugar high. Oh my God, it's so wonderful. Done, right? Shocking, shook, but inside you kind of knew something was off, right? Do something for someone else. Maybe not this person, but I also have to say, that's why no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, which I talk about here and there publicly. I mean, I have a Facebook group, Mark Angelo Lyons Mal for short. Facebook group. It's private. No one can see what's going on in there. If you want in, the link's in the description box. You know, I do like little live streams, like in my glasses, in my bathrobe, stuff like that. But I know that it's through my service, then again, I'm a Virgo, that actually by helping other people, can it stray into workaholism? Sure. Can it be used as an escape? Yeah. But when it's really coming from a soul place of helping people, particularly people who have been through what you've been through, then you really get the answer to the prayer that everything that happens to us is not happening to us, it's happening for us to make us stronger so that we can fulfill our role in the divine plan, often by doing something for someone else. We're not done. The Ascended Masters get a voice in all of this. Just one card through the Healing Mantra deck by Kahn. There he is on the back. One side of the card is the mantra, the other side of the card is the name of the mantra, so I can look it up in the little handbooky book, which I love that little booky book. Not very much, about a paragraph, but has a lot to say in a very short amount of time in a very small space. So please breathe with me, because you're going to need a healing mantra, just saying. Now, the thing about it, the more you repeat it, you are fixed air. So if you treat it like an affirmation, that's sort of mantra work. But mantra work is often signaling, what mantras do, signals to the soul that you're ready. It's like, I'm ready. I'm going to repeat this 1,000 times a day or whatever, because this is what I want. This is, I awaken this within me, right? Nice deep breath, please. Oh, I'm taking one more in the mouth, out the mouth. Oh, my Ascended Masters of True Love in the still point. Please, a healing mantra for this Aquarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love. For February 2020, you know what's on the table. There's deception on the table. You know that triggers me like crazy. I prefer honesty and truth. So please, a healing mantra. Getting out of the way, you choose this card. I mean, I have to physically do it, and you put them all in order, my pantheons, but for this Aquarian collectives, I have dear friends that are Aquarians, so for them, for whoever's watching, what's the perfect healing mantra for this Aquarian collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path to true love, February 2020. Creating cooperation, along with do something for someone else. Do you see the little question mark on my third eye? That's the name of the mantra, creating cooperation. More gets accomplished when everyone has a role to play. All right. Just off the top of my head, what I heard was that if you can accept that you knew on some level, this will go much easier. I know you think that's going to go much harder, but the truth is that your pattern might be blaming them on everything and playing victim. This is your opportunity and answer to a prayer by really talking to other people and finding out, yes, you may feel victimized, but once you find out you are not the only person that this has been done to, that this can be systemic. I just went through this 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years ago. Yeah, where a horrible situation, a business situation, but I found out it wasn't just me. It was a lot easier. I mean, in a way, I was like, how stupid was I? But it was like, but there was a system in place. Whether or not these people knew what they were doing, they did it to a lot of people. So I was like, oh, okay. Not so easier to move on from. That's why it feels like, yeah, it's going to shake you, but somehow there's an answered prayer. I have a feeling you found out early. More gets accomplished when everyone has a role to play. Creating cooperation. Let me just read you from the book. Hold on, I'm already in the C's. Creating cooperation. More gets accomplished when everyone has a role to play. When cooperation is created, the unity of all is access to accomplish more in one moment than any one person can do alone. See, I feel like there's going to be an outing here. I feel like, not like, oh, let's all go out somewhere, like stuff is going to come out almost like an intervention. As a creator of cooperation, you are giving others the right to contribute, which only broadens the effect of collective expression. Once cooperation is created, all facades of competition melt away, allowing each individual to feel a renewed depth of self-worth by serving a vision greater than any degree of individual pain. You're not the only one this has happened to in this with this person, with this situation. Get yourselves together. Do something for each other. This mantra is ideal for enhancing teamwork, transforming family dynamics. This could very easily be a family thing. Because is there anything screaming sexual romance here? No, but that One of Cups with enchantment certainly goes that way, but could be an offer of peace for somebody with a hidden agenda, right? A gift with a hook in it. And increasing inner peace. So that will help you, by getting that, okay, this is a larger thing. Like I said, makes it a little bit easier. Wow, that's a whole lot. Let's give you your overview, my Aquarians. Magic clap. We start you off with the Trickster, with balance in that first position, which now we kind of get is the Trickster god is sitting on your shoulder, that you need to keep your balance because there is a trick already in play and you are involved. Not feeling you are the Trickster, particularly because of that third position of something about listening to deception that needs to go on. Of course, the situation itself, as we said, is that Ace of Cups, that One of Cups with enchantment. This offer of love, this piece of happiness, but it's enchanted. There's something tricky, sticky going on there. And remember, that card of the Trickster, very, very hard to avoid. Major Arcana, card of the Devil, might be a lifelong pattern with this person. When with that deception in the third position in the soul listening, that there was something there that you really didn't listen to, need to now, that will probably help minimize some of the damage of that shookness in that earthquake in the 8th position. The recent past, though, really looking at this Sagittarius card, with ideas and inspiration as the person. I don't want to say the criminal involved. Let's say the deceiver, the trickster that you are now kind of both feet in terms of dealing with here. Now again, if this is flip-flopped and you are the trickster here, there's just a lot going on here. Yes, eventually you'll get your 10 of Cups if you follow the signs, but I'm really not feeling that at all, particularly with that 5th position at the crown there, that self-acceptance and getting that all the pieces of the puzzle are hitting the table and that there are other people involved and you're going to accept, yeah, I kind of suspected something was off, never do that again, which might be the very cause of that lesson, though in the lesson position, you really have this new love that brings on this Phoenix transformation. So if this situation bringing you to the answered prayer with the Hanged Man reversal, if you can really see it that way, then moving into your lesson of the Death card, the Phoenix, with new love, love of self, self-esteem, self-respect, all that kind of stuff, because I gotta say, intuition and self-esteem are connected. That's Caroline Mace. I didn't say it, but I wholeheartedly agree. If you get a gut and you don't believe it, well, it's your intuition. It's your perceptual body. It's your soul communicating. Therefore, there's a self-esteem issue there. Absolutely, you can get and how do you build your self-esteem? By listening to and trusting your intuition. It's a back and forth deal. Both improve as one improves. And from the outside looking in, that you are being guided through this earthquake somehow. And I get a feeling if this is familial, like that's how others would see that way, because they're sort of all in that same earthquake. That even when one person is going through an earthquake, personally, that those around them tend to get a little shook too, at least vibrationally. And still there is that destiny in the ninth position of, emotional resolution. You do have 2 10s in this deck. Just checking. It is the only repetition of a number that I'm seeing here. Let's see, we've got a 1. No, that's a 4 and a 5. Yeah, so I'm seeing no repetitions except for the 2 10s. So maybe this is the last time, right? Maybe the signs are on the wall that there's some emotional fulfillment here. This might be the last time you have to do this, as well as this is bringing you closer and closer to that experience of the 10 of Cups, that the signs are pointing towards it. But to get there, you have to go through the outcome of the Hermit, the Wise One, the Kaliek, taking some alone time to heal, and from that being able to do something for someone else, give your attention to someone else, creating cooperation. More gets accomplished when everyone has a role to play. I think a lot is going to come out in this one, but it's going to take you keeping your balance. This is tricky. This is sticky. There is deception going on. It's going to come out, and you might find that there are many people who had a hand in this one way or another. So they're going to find you. They're going to get you. Sorry, little Debbie Harry moment. One way or another, sweethearts, may the Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be given all the guidance and the grace that they need on the path of true love for February 2020, to grow, to heal, to learn, to become the best that they can be, to see things differently, to transform as they need to transform with the new love that they have for themselves, increasing the love on the planet and within the quantum field. May they be blessed, may they be blessed, and may they be blessed with the very, very best for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. Thank you so much for watching my Aquarian Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Please do like, subscribe. No, really, seriously, go check out some of the links in the description box. I think this might be a twin flamer going on here. Go watch the video I did clarifying twin flame soulmates and true lovers, as well as the Kahn one, soul contracts, redefining twin flames and soulmates. Cool. Thank you so much. I love you all so much, and wishing you the very best as I sign off. Hail, farewell, and blessed be.